Happy New Year, friends. You made it through. Did 21 days together, and now here is our Rave New Year. And let's take a look. Quite a bit has changed. Again, congratulations to anyone who took the time to really contemplate this process and recognize that the transits aren't our lives, but it gives us the opportunity to see what is going on in our sky clock so that we can interact with it differently. And as you see, our upcoming year is going to be very interesting. And why is it going to be interesting? Well, as we're watching the destructive factor of the cross of planning start to lose its grip on humanity, and it's very disconcerting knowing that a lot of people are going to get caught up in this. But what we get to do here through this channel, through human design, through a deeper awareness, is we get to hold space for anyone who is ready and willing to break out of the matrix and lean deeper into a different aspect of reality. So here we have the beautiful 41. Well, what is the 41? The 41 is all about this start codon. And if you notice, the equinoxes, they're all around the 21st. So it makes a lot of sense to know that the start of our year would be around the same time, the 21st. It's the 22nd. It's just a few minutes after midnight on the 22nd for this particular Rave New Year. Now, I'm recording this a little bit earlier because I am definitely in bed at midnight. However, here we are at gate 41. And what I love is that it's creating a channel. And this is the channel of recognition, a design of focused energy. So what we're going to notice this year is it's our opportunity for composure and reasonableness. Composure and reasonableness. It's always the first line. We always walk through that, where we have the opportunity to, because it's a full channel this year, to lean into what it is that really we want to bring into our lives. And what do I mean by that? So we have the opportunity to manifest a plethora of anything that you really, really want, actually. It is truly just how are you going to interact with that consciousness field? And, I would encourage you to look at your strategy and authority through a new lens. We had a great conversation in our mentorship around strategy and authority and really leaning into what that means for us. Because I think that, that was one of Ra's things that he tried to do for 30 years was get people to really understand their strategy and authority. And it bamboozled him that so many people were still elusive to it. However, the consciousness field is available to anyone. It is how you interact with it. So the 4130 is really imagination. This allows us to dream big, and change our resources. The design of being sensitive, this channel of synthesis. This actually, the word sensitive can be utilized in coordination with resources. And that's right from Ra's languaging, right from his words. What do you fantasize around your resources this year? Would you like to increase your family's wealth? Would you like to increase your community, your outreach? Do you want to increase your capacity to feed your family? Maybe you want to learn gardening. Maybe you want to buy a tiny little plot of land and have the capacity to garden and to maybe raise some meat animals for yourself if that's what you choose to eat. And again, the 1949, we know this. We know that this is breaking down, and what we eat for meat may be changing in the future. I don't know. These are all speculations through Raw, different things that I read, different things that I sense, is that we're going to go back to a more kind and compassionate way to raise animals, instead of factories and large organizations, being a difficult space to eat their meat because of how they operate in an inhumane way. Now, I'm not saying they all do. A vast majority of them do. Okay. So that's what this year, 2023, has in store. And you notice that the flavor of this is going to feel like crisis and joy. But there's also going to be a tiny bit of limitation. There's still going to be that restraint around this energy field. So where is it that you want to not feel hasty? Having the root defined, having the solar plex defined, these are both slower energy fields. They are motors. They are sustainable motors. But there's also this, uncovering of the awareness field of the solar plex. So where inside of your resources and your imagination and the fantasies and being able to focus your energy, instead of being scattered and all over the place, how can you focus your energy so that you can make more contemplative, slow decisions? And some of you might go, but Leann, I'm sacral, I'm splenic, I'm ego driven. Those aren't slow decision making. Well, be aware that the hastiness of the openness can pull you off your game. And I'm not saying that the transits are your life. I'm saying we have the opportunity to gain the wisdom of what it is to not be hasty, to actually focus in and be sensitive around the resources so that we don't get sucked into the darkening, but we actually see the crisis, blend it with our joy, bring in that restraint, and a new direction will be available to anybody who is willing and able to just breathe into this. Letting go of the past and seeing how can we persuade ourselves, our friends, our families to let go of all the hostility and identify with something new, so that our future, which is all based off of imagination, our future is all based off of imagination. And the correct influences. Anytime we have the 41, we're always going to have the 31. And the 31 is that influential energy. So the correct influences can influence your movement and your fantasy and your resources this year. Being aware, whose opinions are you looking at? Or are you trusting your own rationalization, your own knowing, based off of the inner acoustics, and allowing for that truth to be the guiding factor and not the opinions and belief systems of others? So the 17 gives us the opportunity to visualize the pattern. So we have this beautiful energy starting off the 2023 year. And again, I would get you to journal. What is it that you truly want to lean into this year and fantasize and contract down to and focus in on? Is it a different career? Or do you want to move up the ladder in your own career? Do you want to start your business? Do you want to start a family? Do you want to change things in your world? You get to journal about it, put it down on paper, and watch how the magic of just the written word begins to open up the ability for you to manifest in a new way. So enjoy this upcoming year. We are going to see, of course, more destruction through the cross of planning. I'm not a fortune teller in any way, shape, or form. However, what I know is that there is more money, monetary assets on our earth plane than ever before. So lean into recognizing that most of the resources out there that we call money, they have all just been created, and there's energy there. So you get to make the choice on how you want to operate in that energy. Do you want to come from it from a place of worry, nervousness, touchy, fearful energy? Or do you want to just lean into the truth that all of that is just a currency, and so are you? And that we can allow for all kinds of currencies to flow through us. Do you know that there's so many microwaves, so many radio waves, so many EMFs happening constantly all day long, flying through you? The neutrino oceans are flying through you. Can you be open enough to let money also do that same thing, and resources, so that you can live a different life, so that you can come from the space of awakening and lean into the contemplation of truly what your imagination has in store for you? Just a question. Again, if you want to join the mentorship and play around in this energy and go deeper and learn and just be you, and be a guiding light for others, we're going to be in that mentorship, helping other people do that. So if that's a space you want to get into, I highly recommend it. Okay, friends, thank you again for the last 22 days of spending time with me. I greatly appreciate it. This has been such a joy for me to do these last few years, and I look forward to next year.